Hello, and welcome back to Your Weekender. My name is Chris, and I'm very glad that you've joined me today. So this episode will be a midweek episode. I won't do these every week, but recently I was traveling in North Georgia, and I went by a very interesting facility. I passed it, looked off, and realized what it was. I'm sure that many of you are very familiar if you were born in the 60s, 70s, or 80s with Cabbage Patch Kids. Well, there is a very large facility in North Georgia called Babyland. And this facility is, in effect, a second generation location of the Cabbage Patch Kids doll. So Cabbage Patch dolls were very popular, especially in the 80s, very soon after they were launched. The doll was featured on many news programs, TV shows, newspapers. But anyway, these Cabbage Patch dolls got around. So with that said, I'm just going to show you the video that I took just browsing about. So my tour of the Babyland facility was interesting and kind of strange if you just want to get right down to it. It's set up very much like a hospital. There's a nurse that welcomes you when you come through the front door. The place is palatial. It's on a very large estate. Big columns in the front, you'll see on the video, but smells very antiseptic in there, and there are delivery rooms and cribs and nurses walking around, adoption offices. So when in the 80s, I had no interest in this thing. So the location they're in now is actually their second location. The first one was also in Cleveland, Georgia. So please hang around and join me as I narrate my visit to the Babyland General Hospital in Cleveland, Georgia. All right, this is turning into Babyland in Cleveland, Georgia. Not a stop that I would usually make, but I was passing by. As you can tell, it has a long entrance, a very large property. And there's the sign. And you make a right and pass in front of the building. It is a beautiful building, no doubt. Very palatial with columns, nice finishes. And through the columns to the front door, where you enter another world.
Welcome to Babyland. Is this your first visit with us?
It is.
It's going to be a self-guided tour. You're going through the double doors to the left. All of our babies are adoptable. They have birth certificates, nurses to help you make pictures if you like. Enjoy your visit.
Thank you.
Well, as could be expected, lots of dolls. These on display, likely ones developed and adopted through the years. Up toward the front and to the left is a nursery. Looks very welcoming to the new arrivals. Lots of pictures on the walls from A-list celebrities, politicians, and others. Perhaps they just would sign a picture and send it over, or somehow maybe they were affiliated with the program. I'm just not sure, but quite a few walls that were laden with pictures. Dolls for sale everywhere, and it looks like they had dolls for everyone. For race fans, hey, it looks like they have an elementary school too, for the Cabbage Patch Kids. No idea what they're teaching them, but hey, at least they're getting educated. They have their own cow. Moo. In the circus room. How about that? Complete with a Ferris wheel and a big chair. Maybe Santa Claus swings by once a year and sits in that chair. And this is the magic tree where the Cabbage Patch Kids are born, out of cabbage, I suppose. I hear you can come for a live birth right here if you would like. This nursery's toward the back. A little different. This is probably the first stop before going to the other one. An adoption office, if you're so inclined. And toward the back, there's a very large room with a lot of decorations, likely done up for the holiday season. If so, I'm sure this will be coming down here soon. But I'll leave it there. This was the last room I visited. There are a lot of presentations here. There's a sleigh full of Cabbage Patch dolls. A lot of Christmas trees. I think toward the back here, there's some bears that may have done an adoption. Looks like they adopted other little bears, teddy bears, I suppose. We have a toy soldier over there to the right. Yeah. And snowman. I don't think that's Frosty, though. And a sleigh. Maybe that's Santa's sleigh. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't see Rudolph. Well, I'll leave it there. Thank you. Appreciate you watching. Well, I hope you enjoyed my short tour of the Cabbage Patch Kids facility in Cleveland, Georgia. But before I go, I thought I'd mention just a few facts about that organization and its history. So in 1976, 21-year-old Xavier Roberts rediscovered needle molding. It's a German technique from the 1800s where they use fabric sculpture to create different items. So Xavier decided to use that technique to create Cabbage Patch dolls. He had learned quilting from his mother, and he soon thereafter began his first sculpture. In 1978, one of Xavier Roberts' dolls, named Dexter, won a first place ribbon for sculpture in the Osceola Art Show in Kissimmee, Florida. With this, he began selling his dolls in arts and craft shows and exhibiting them all over. He found that many parents were willing to pay $40 to adopt his work. So with that, he began his road to success. By 1981, Xavier's dolls were receiving lots of publicity. In fact, the Wall Street Journal, Newsweek, the Atlanta Weekly, and many others were documenting and discussing his creations. And it was widely being reported that readoptions of his dolls were going for 100 times their original fee, if you can believe that. Now, by 1983, almost 3 million of the Cabbage Patch dolls had been adopted up to that point, but demand had not yet been met. So there was still a lot of work for Xavier Roberts and his organization to do to catch up with that demand. And as of that time, the Cabbage Patch Kids went on record as being the most successful doll introduction in toy history. So I'm going to read this next one directly off the screen because it's quite interesting, and I don't want to foul it up here. So in 1985, the Cabbage Patch Kids joined the Young Astronaut program, and one of the dolls, Christopher Xavier, becomes the first Cabbage Patch Kid to journey into outer space as a passenger on the United States Space Shuttle. Wow. And then there was this. In 1992, the Cabbage Patch Kids were honored by being named the first official mascot of the United States Olympic team. They traveled with the athletes to Barcelona for the games, and many stayed behind as friends for life with patients of local children's hospitals. Well, that was good. And in 2000, the United States Post Office came out with a Cabbage Patch Kids stamp. It was valued at 33 cents. And finally, in 2009, the Cabbage Patch Kids officially moved into their new home on November 21st, with over 70,000 square feet of space and featuring the Magic Crystal Tree, where guests can watch a live delivery of a Cabbage Patch Kid. There's no admission fee, if you were wondering. So anyway, again, not necessarily a stop that I would typically make, but I was passing by that afternoon. I saw it off in the distance and saw the sign and thought, well, I'll pull in here and take a look. But I hope you enjoyed it. A midweek episode, we'll call it a special. But everyone, thank you for joining. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you enjoy the content, leave a comment. I read them all. Thank you and have a great day.